go. Plug this back in. There we go. There we go. How you guys doing this morning? Was able to sleep in a little bit, which felt real good for me. Woke up just a few minutes ago and FaceTimed my little ones and made my bed and started the coffee, got my fireplace going. Taking care of some business, if you will. Got a little more business I might need to take care of when we go over by the coffee maker. Might need to put away my dishes and got a greasy Tupperware container in the sink and it's kind of bugging me out. Good morning, Mirella. Good morning, Rebecca. And good morning, Angela. How are you guys doing this fine morning? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good night's sleep. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you are loving yourself. Hope you are forgiving yourself. Wouldn't it be fun if I started my show the way I finished? Maybe it'd be a good thought to do. And most shows the same way. Maybe it'd be good to begin them. Have a super perky, friendly, message-filled beginning. And I kind of do. I kind of do. It feels like we're going to have a glorious audience today. Hello, Nay. Hello, Don Carlson. Hold on here. Let's see. There we go. Tap that. A little more work every day to get things just how I like them. Got some thoughts for you today. There we go. Let's shut this now, I think. Let's grab my notebook. Took some notes when I got home from work last night. And about random things I might want to talk about today. I might not, but I might. So now we're going to leave this, grab this. Oh, it looks like a beautiful day. We're getting few flakes of snow. Show it for Rebecca and any other Australian viewers. Not much, but actually it looks like it just about stopped coming down. Just a little dusting. Kind of makes it pretty though. Raises my spirits just a little bit. My spirits are pretty good because I was able to sleep in. All right, if you don't mind, maybe even if you do mind. I was talking about it the other day. I bought this cheap set of pans and I'm considering relocating. And it's kind of funny because everything I bought was kind of cheap when I moved in here. I moved in here just about a year ago and everything I purchased, this spatula is actually a fairly nice spatula and this is one of those XOXO cookie cutters. Or not cookie cutters, pizza cutters, but all this stuff is like real low quality, but did the job. And if you're gonna move after being in a place not very long, you can't help but think, oh, I'd hate to have to buy another one of these. And the truth of the matter is, I would hate to have to buy another one of these. But all this stuff at the end of the day would take up space. Like these plates, they're good. But I don't know, I might have spent $20, $30 on plates and bowls and plastic ones. You know what I mean? At some point, I'm gonna have to say what comes and what doesn't come. I guess that point isn't today. And a lot of this stuff probably can be packed tightly in a box. But if I move, I don't have a whole lot of stuff. Hi, Gramps. Keep up the good vids. You'll be successful in the future. Well, thank you. Thank you. What am I doing here? You say you have a little leftover snow. Yeah, I have a friend that lives in North Carolina that posted a picture. He lives on some lake. And posted a pretty picture of the snow on his hot tub and his swimming pool outside this lake. Looked like a really nice setup. Almost done. I'll be back with you. Even like, you know, the knives were cheap. It might have been a $30 set of knives and stuff. But I'd hate to have to go out, you know, probably doesn't take up much room, but for a single man that doesn't do a lot of cooking, you know, it's got a set of scissors and it does the job. And there's endless things, you know, you don't think about when you start over. And I've started over many times in my life. There's just endless things you gotta buy, can openers, and cutting boards, and knife set, and silverware, which is kind of, silverware is expensive and small. So that stuff's gonna be coming with me. I think I'll figure a way to get my air mattress in the car and my mattress pad in the car, because both those are compactable. I might try and just post a couple pictures on Facebook Marketplace and say, you know, tables, lamp, futon for sale. And come up with some random prices. If it doesn't work, option B. What coffee? Oh, this is, okay. All that setup was for this Greasy's. You can see why I wouldn't want that staring at me in the sink. Or even knowing it's in the sink. All right, I'm almost done. I'm almost done, and the coffee is done. Might as well put this away. I'd say I should have done this last night, but I didn't get home till after 10 last night. And somebody says Facebook Marketplace seems to be very popular, and Angela said that's a good idea. Yeah, and I certainly could use the money. So if I could get, I don't know, maybe a couple $100 for everything I have, that'd be a couple $100 I could desperately use and less stuff to worry about, and maybe go to a good home. And I got a couple days off next week that I could use. I mean, I don't even need a couple days off. I'm working later today. I could probably do it today. I'd hate to have it, bunch of damn vultures coming over buying my stuff today and have me sleeping on the floor tonight. Actually, I wouldn't hate that. I could work that out. But I'll tell you what, if I go and when I go, I'll be more mentally able to re-equip and know what things cost and know where are good values and how to do things really at a low cost. I'll be sad though. I mean, I think it looks really nice. You know, wherever I go won't have these huge windows, this brick wall, the high ceilings. But it will have the things I love the most. Let me pour myself some coffee. Hold on. Get myself some water first. Haven't had any water. Probably a good idea for all of you to grab some water and take a big swig. Again, my coffee cup. The house is as it needs to be. Let's go sit down and see what we want to talk about this morning. I don't even know if I need the light on. I might not need it on. It might look better with the light on. Okay, that's what it looks like with light on. And this is what it looks like with light off. That's a little dark, but almost kind of cool. Let me see again. Let me sit down. I mean, that's probably a little dark. I mean, that's kind of cool, isn't it? No, that's pretty cool. Let's go with this, right? Unless you guys mind. Let my viewers know I post on the marketplace. I don't think that's going to help. I mean, you're from Australia, Rebecca. You're probably not going to come on down here or come on up here, whatever. Buy anything from me. I personally wouldn't want to do it, but I wonder if anyone has any use for a lightly used mattress. I wouldn't want to do it. But it's only like 8 months old. Hate for it to go to the garbage or the dump. It would bum me out. I mean, it wasn't crazy expensive, but I just almost would hate for it just to fill up space in the garbage. A space in the world that's not being used. Chance says dead skin cells. Yeah. But anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. Somebody said, give it to a homeless person. The problem, Chance, and some people were talking about giving me advice about moving my stuff. And again, this isn't a show about me looking for any advice. About moving my stuff and saying I should rent a truck or rent a car or, you know, that would cost about half as much as my stuff cost. Plus, it has no home on the other side. I don't have a home yet. I'm gonna have to do it all over again. Get some quick short-term housing, a room to rent, maybe a low-cost hotel, just like I did a year ago. So I would have no place to put all my stuff. So then it becomes a storage issue. And yes, you could probably rent a storage unit, but that's gonna cost $100 and create extra work. And at the end of the day, if you're only saving a few $100 and you're giving yourself a lot more headaches, it doesn't seem worth it to me. So if I gave my mattress to a homeless person, the problem is he has no home to put it in. You know? Hopefully he's not sleeping outside. Because still we got another month or two of pretty cold weather up here. My lease is ending. I'm very much considering moving. I want to get closer to my family and friends. And scared about doing it. Because if you guys have been watching my show for a while, you know, a year and a half, or not even a year and a half ago, like 14 months ago, I was in my car for a couple months, sleeping in my car. I was working at a restaurant in Naperville, staying in an extended stay after I got back from Yellowstone. And the extended stay was like $1,600 a month. And my restaurant slowed up and my shifts got cut back and I couldn't afford it to pay my all the other financial responsibilities I had. It was quite painful. It was a hard time. And I'm afraid. I feel like I'm leaving a place of safety for me. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Thursday morning. It is February 5th. It is 7:09 a.m. Happy Thursday. It's a little show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking and sharing some feelings, kind of sharing the adventure of one man's life as he gets up and gets his ass kicked and pulls himself back up and goes back at it the next day and then gets his ass kicked the next day. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. Somebody named Short Player just said, hey, his apartment building lets him go month to month. You'd ask him if you were me till I get it figured out. Short Player, again, this isn't an advice show. I've run through some possibilities. I've put some thought into my own life. I'm not asking for any advice or any thoughts about random things that you do when you don't know what I'm dealing with. How about that? I'm actually going to put you in timeout because I find that fairly insulting. But anyway, as I was saying, it's not just a show about me talking. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to have my first sip at this early hour. My hope is wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Note to self, find room for the coffee maker. I was thinking about it. As I was making my coffee this morning, am I going to pack my coffee itself? Bring my coffee beans. I still got some whole beans in there. I still don't get it, even for a guy with his Coffee with Ken show. I can't even imagine. Maybe I'm not that particular. I am about some things, but like doing a French press or getting my own beans and grinding them myself. To me, I don't even want to put the coffee in the filter and fill up the pitcher of water. You know, to me, that's more work than I want to do when I get my coffee. Yeah. But anyway, it's Thursday morning. How you guys feeling? How you doing? Mike, I can do it, but it's frightening. Chance says K-cups seem like you'd be melting the plastic it comes in. I think for somebody that drinks a serious amount of coffee, doing K-cups is prohibitively expensive and also bad for the environment. And again, when I first got separated from my wife, and I've said this before, I had a friend with a beautiful basement, and he had a little kitchenette in there, and he was letting me stay with him for a while. and I'd buy, there was a Keurig down there, and I'd buy these K-cups from Aldi, and, and I'd leave them on the counter because I don't think I had a garbage can or something. So they'd be on the counter and accumulate. And it was just embarrassing and ridiculous how after like a week, there'd be, 35 of them or something, or 30 of them. And if I didn't clear it off in 2 weeks, there'd be, you do the math, but all of a sudden, and you're thinking about all this plastic being dumped in, I don't know, some garbage or landfill. And I don't know if it really, I think they probably I think we just send all our plastic to China and they burn it in some huge furnace or something like that. Well, enjoy your trip to Europe for your honeymoon, my boy Skipper. Enjoy that. Let me have another swig of my coffee. So I'm working tonight. I worked last night. I'm working tomorrow. I'm looking for employment, most likely bridge employment in my new location. Bridge meaning something to get me from here to there. I think that was really the catalyst for what pushed me over in the last week. Somebody hopped on yesterday and said, wait, you're moving? Where have I been? And I've been vacillating between moving and not for the last, I don't know, few months. And I was weighing financial stability with temporary discomfort. And in the last week, I went on 3 interviews with what would be considered real jobs, not substitute teaching or not waiting or not bartending type jobs, real jobs and stuff. And I think the interviews went great, but I walked out of each of them going, this isn't right. So at the end of the day, I realized my financial stability was not being enhanced by being here, and that I needed to jump off my support system, which is this home and my jobs that I currently have, and get back in the water and swim for higher ground. Let's see. Yeah. Had a few thoughts. All right, let's talk about AI. I've spoken. Interviews do go both ways, but it wasn't even about that this time. It wasn't even about that this time. It was, in my mind, and if it wasn't about whether I could do the job or pay enough. I mean, a little bit. Honestly, the very first one hit me in the face that it wouldn't be enough. Honestly, I make more waiting tables than a lot of jobs pay. I think you can make a fair amount waiting tables. You bust your butt, and you're tired all the time, and you work weird hours. So I wouldn't recommend it for somebody 57 like me. But to take a lesser paying job with regular hours, just wouldn't work mathematically for me. So that kind of opened my eyes, and then I looked for higher paying jobs and met with them. And I didn't want that either. Want to talk about AI a little more? You used to earn $30 an hour at the country club. Did you work at a country club? And Yeah, like a lot of, I mean, $30. You can make more than that at some jobs for sure. But yeah, that seems like a pretty good guesstimate at what somebody earns as a waiter. It's not bad. Bartender and banquets. Yeah. Again, I was working at Texas Roadhouse a year ago, and I think I averaged probably 25 in tips every night, and not 25 an hour. It was hustling, and you're on your feet and exhausted. Uh, that's a pretty good job, and it's a good, yeah. Unless you have a job you know you're going to do and work your way up, there's not many jobs out there where I can walk in and they'll say, "Hey, we'll pay you 80 grand in salary plus benefits." With my experience is mostly sales and somewhat spotty sales at that time. To get closer to family and friends. Chance asked, "Why would I leave my spot and start over?" When you say attempting to start over, Chance, I don't like the vibe of that. I think the words we use do matter. And when you say attempting to start over, it seems scarring. Where Mike LaMancha got on a minute ago and said, "Go for it, you can do it." And somebody else said, "Just put your faith in God." And those were uplifting to me. But it'd be to get closer to family and friends. We have a glorious audience this morning. Did I tell you about an interview I had a few months ago? And it was for a radio position. And I would have thought it was like for a DJ position doing a morning show. And they were only going to pay 40 grand. And I looked at the guy and I go, "Well, I'd still need to like wait tables or something else. You know, how do you make it on 40 grand? To be like the personality for a radio station." And maybe I'm just so out of touch. With radio. I don't know. I always listen to the voices on the radio and I assumed they were stars. Starting pay was 40 grand. I'm going, that sucks. Thank you, Chance. No, I know. I know you weren't trying to be, and I wasn't even being, I wasn't angry at y'all, but I was kind of attempting to start over. Made me shiver. Made me feel like failure was an option. And believe me, the reason I'm sensitive is because I'm terrified. And I'm trying to block out that failure could be an option. I mean, it's not really an option. But pain and struggles is certainly an option. I won't fail, but I might suffer. But it'd be a suffering well worth it, I'll promise you that. Good morning, AJ. How are you? How are you this morning? Yeah, I think I got a good radio voice. I think I would have done a damn good job, and they didn't offer it. I did question the salary. I did ask the guy, the radio manager, "Well, how's somebody going to live on that? I probably still have to work as a waiter on the weekends." I would. I mean, I didn't expect it to be 100, but 40. Again, I make much more than that waiting table. It's not much more, but I was talking to a buddy, and I mentioned it a week or two ago that at a restaurant I work up here in Wisconsin, that a manager right above me got let go. And my initial response was kind of, I mean, I honestly, I like the manager a lot. So was sad for him. And honestly, at work, I do miss him a little bit. But then again, I also saw me fitting into that role pretty seamlessly, and kind of inquired about it. And after my interviews the other day, I decided, maybe this is why I'm not going and trying to grab that job, because it's not quite right. And he goes, well, if they offered you 80 grand, I go, yeah, I could probably make 60 waiting tables. Are my tips taxed in my state? I think my tips are taxed. I mean, I live in Wisconsin and I also live in Illinois. In the last year, I've been in both Illinois and Wisconsin. And if when I move, it'll be back to Illinois. And I don't know. I'm assuming tips are taxed in both places. Illinois taxes the crap out of everything. You could kind of imagine like California doing it because it's California. But Illinois, I don't know, other than, okay, I say that. I have a son with Down syndrome, and they offer a lot of benefits to like special needs children that need help, government sponsored. So I do appreciate that. And there's probably a bunch of other things I'm missing. There's a bunch of other things I'm probably missing, but that one impacted me in a positive way. Have I ever toured Springfield and seen the Abraham Lincoln House? I did, AJ. I did. I remember it as a kid. I went there, maybe with my family, and I certainly went there on a field trip for school. And that was neat. Yeah. I have a friend, actually a woman I dated back in college who was from Springfield, and was considering there for a while. And apparently the town's struggling in a bunch of different ways. There's a lot of government jobs still available, but the town itself isn't doing particularly well. Yeah. So I was talking about AI. I tell you what, I think you can build up too much dependence on it quickly. And I have used it as a valuable tool for me and to bounce things off of and help me with resumes and cover letters and this and that. And a couple of its responses that well, first of all, yesterday I found myself, I don't even remember what I was going to ask it, but I was going to ask it something. I'm going, why the hell am I asking AI this? I'm a big boy, I'm a professional, I can make the decision on my own. I kind of laughed at myself. Ha ha ha. But then I also thought, it is very good at putting together very like emotionally neutral responses, probably for legal issues or, finalizing issues like with this apartment building or what have you. Or even some personal issues that you're trying to take yourself out of. I know for me, I tend to let my emotions run wild, and if I get angry at somebody, it probably comes across in my communication. And sometimes communication is better with the emotion taken out of it. So it is good for crafting various letters or emails or what have you, messages, responses. But like in the last few days, I've sent out some job emails, and I feel it leans towards maybe I don't mind showing a little bit of my passion or emotion when I'm talking to a future employer, because I kind of want them to know who I am. And I might want to say, hi, Bob, with an exclamation point, or thanks so much as I sign off. And I know those are just minor changes and I could do it as well. But the verbiage, I'm a little more aggressive. And like I was communicating with a potential employer yesterday, and he being the AI thing, was responding with very passive responses. And if I would have gotten that response, I mean, it was very professional and forward moving, but I think I would have just, in my mind, mentally kind of put that on the pile with the other applicants. Where my messaging may have gotten crumpled up and thrown in the cyber garbage can, or it may have gotten put on the top of the pile because they're going to remember me either way. Jess says it's a great tool for underdeveloped writers. I'm not sure what that means, Jess. Rebecca said smash the like and subscribe. Please do. We have a glorious audience. We got 50 people watching. We got 17 thumbs up. My show grows a little bit every day. I go live most days. I talk about life and things. So if you'd be so kind to double tap your screen, it would give me more thumbs up. And I think the powers that be at YouTube like when people going live get lots of thumbs up. And they push their lives out to a bunch of different people. Tammy Riley's like is not working. That hurts. Somebody called me Lex Luthor. Perhaps I need to watch the new Superman movie because I hear Lex Luthor a lot. Yes, I'm aware Lex Luthor's a bald bad guy in Superman, but maybe I look especially like him from the Superman movie. Jess says you have better writing skills than AI. I mean, I certainly write. If I was going to write a poem or a book, I'd rather use me. But when it comes to dealing with, like, I put my emotion in my writing, and I have a hard time not. And I think there's better ways. Some communication is best done without emotion. And I think back to fights I had with my first wife where I didn't know how to respond. Because again, I think my messaging was like this. And I think when you're like this in your messaging, they respond like this. And you go, crap, that was as nice as I can say that. And it still pissed you off. Well, I'm doubting my own skills. All right, well, I'll say this, Jess. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot quicker. AI can help with writer's block sometimes. I would hate to use AI for like you say, writer's block. You mean like writing anything of significance? I would hope like authors aren't using AI. Hey, I want to write a chapter where my heroine or hero is trudging through Nebraska fields in 1878 and looking for his horse named Jed. Write a chapter about that. And it would just go vroom, and crank it out. I mean, what's going to happen to authors? I went to bed. I got home last night and I started watching a video about Machiavelli, I think his name was. Machiavelli? I read a book by him, or about him, or by him. Was it called The Prince? Back in college. If anyone knows Machiavelli, I think that's his name. I might be missaying it, I'm forgetting. I know he's a famous guy. I think he wrote a book called The Prince. But either way, I was watching a video as I went to bed last night, or before I went to bed, about him. And it was basically about the power of ignoring people. And when you get tethered to emotional responses, like if somebody reaches out and they can touch your emotions, you're being vulnerable to them. And it was actually pretty good. But my point is, I think the whole video was done by artificial intelligence. It had one of those fake voices and random, cartoonish imagery done. And what I've noticed in a couple of these, I think they have like fake imperfections in the screen, if you know what I mean, to kind of give it almost the old film feeling. Like, I don't know if you were a kid and when they're rolling the film and it's going up, there's these little things in the screen. I noticed that on yesterday's, and I'm going, why is there these imperfections in this cartoonish video about Machiavelli? It was intentional. Nothing's by accident. But anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Coaching. It's like every day somebody, and I get made fun of about this. I don't know why. I'm not asking people to reach out and have me coach them or mentor them. But just about every day somebody reaches out and is in a problematic spot and wants to know how to feel better. Wants to either talk or me to coach them or mentor them. I think the problem is there's no like magic words I can sprinkle on somebody where they're going to suddenly be awesome the rest of their life and feel great. And I think if somebody's feels beaten down by life or depressed or sad or heartbroken, feeling better is a process. And getting over those yucky feelings is a process. And I think when people reach out to me and want me to tell them how to feel better, focus on gratitude, or put your fear in God, or give your fear to God, they think I can just say, oh, here's how you do it. And they go, oh, that feels so awesome. Now everything's great. But I think it's kind of an ongoing process. And again, I talk about 6.5 years ago when I was feeling all these dark thoughts and living in my dark apartment. And I said, this is more than I can handle. God, I don't even know if I believe in you, but here you go. Whoop. But it's still an ongoing process, and I still doubt and fear and worry. But now I have like tools to deal with it in confidence that I can get through it. But I have people sometimes in very dark moments reaching out to me that I think are looking for maybe magic words. I had a guy who I think messaged me like a year ago, messaged me last night and said, hey, can we talk? Never spoken to this person. I don't know who he is. And I go, well, no, I'm at work. I shouldn't even have been looking at TikTok. And he goes, well, it's a real long story. Can we talk after work? I'm going, I'm waiting tables. I don't know who you are.
I certainly don't want to hear some real long story from you, a person I don't know, about the troubles in your life on the way home from work that I'm busting my ass at 57, struggle to pay my bills, have to move. No, no, no. We can't talk after work so you can tell me your real long story. I hope you understand. And what I also think is the story almost doesn't matter. I think a lot of people are looking to talk, which is fine, and tell their story and this and that. They need a sounding board. They need a therapist, a friend, a journal to share the intimate details of what she did to them and why they were wronged and how horrible their life is or why they're struggling or why they feel crappy in a bunch of different ways. But the story almost doesn't matter at all from my point of view. And in a couple quick messages, I kind of said that to the guy. I go, all right, you got some long story. Okay, good. I've heard enough. You're feeling crappy. You're probably feeling depressed. Okay. How do we deal with that? And I think usually if I was going to be a coach or mentor, I can't tell anybody how to, work through their own personal life crises outside of taking it step by step. But I can attack the biggest issue, and that biggest issue is usually in your head. Because we all have stories, and we all have bosses, relationships, bills, health issues that seem more than we can handle from time to time. But I think having somebody believe that we have the strength or we have the ability to handle the issues is maybe what I can offer. Oh. Jim Rat, this is indeed a glorious audience. This is indeed a glorious audience. A very glorious audience. Tammy Riley says she cannot start a positive day without a hazelnut latte, extra shot of coffee, served warm. Jess says psychology says we have mostly generic experiences. It's our reactions that differ. Well, that's what I'm saying. This guy, and I don't know him, wanted me to call him or something on my drive home from work when I'm busting my ass. He wanted to tell. Yeah, that's what I want to do. There's 8 billion people in the world. You can't save the world. But I think I can help him. And I think I did. But it wasn't by listening on my drive home to some person's long story of why their life sucks. I don't have time in my life to listen to everybody's story. And if I'm a coach, listening to the story is not how I will coach you. If any one of you, there's 57 people watching, it's a glorious audience. And if this ever becomes a shorter reel or a TikTok and you go, hey, I like this guy's attitude, I don't, maybe I want him as a mentor or coach. I promise it's not going to be by listening to your long story. I'll cut through that. Okay, yeah, all right, I get it. But we're going to attack the issue, and it's the 6 inches between your ears, because that's what I can help with. And that I think I could almost systemize and say, okay, you're dealing with a bunch of crap. I get it. What you need to do tonight is this. And I'll reach out tomorrow, maybe in 2 days, and we'll do a next step. And if you didn't do what I told you to do, I don't want to keep playing this game. There are no magic words. There are no, hey, and you're going to be feeling good. If I tell you to listen to positive affirmations, you got to listen to positive affirmations. If you don't, I'm not going to keep playing this game. I don't have time. Tammy Riley, but I'm not here to help one person on one thing. And I am here to help them. But listening to their story isn't the way to help them. Listening to their story isn't the way to help them. It's not what I want to do. Like, I'll have people that'll hop on randomly and say, like, their dog died. And beyond, I'm sorry to hear that. This isn't necessarily the channel to hop on a live. I mean, I guess I find it kind of strange. Like, why would somebody come on my live and say their dog died? This isn't the platform for that. Do I think I'm qualified? Jenny, is that even slightly the issue? Do I have many problems? Do you think I have more problems than you, Jenny? Jenny said, do you really think you're qualified to give advice when you have so many problems yourself? First of all, again, I didn't ask to give advice. I have people coming to me all the time. Secondly, yes, I think I'm extremely qualified to give advice. And thirdly, Jenny, I bet you got at least as many problems as me. You just don't talk about them on this platform. You hide them. You might even create fake accounts to watch live videos, which probably means you got a lot of problems. Angela says the thing that helps most in your life is believing in Jesus. That's what keeps you going. But even that, Angela, is hard to put into a few different words to, if you just say, oh, believe in Jesus, I don't think finding faith is like that. It might be a point where you become faithful, but if somebody is down in the dumps, like for me, I've been talking about my faith journey for 6 years, and I'm still not sure how I believe, and there's still ebbs and flows in it. And to tell somebody that reaches out that's down on their luck, to give it to Jesus, I just think is not going to be effective. Mitch says Jesus is king. The faith you have in Jesus is the most important thing to you. Way to go. But again, I don't think that's a quick fix for somebody. Faith in Jesus Christ is an experience, in my opinion. Please do hair reveal. I don't even know what that means. You think I have like a bald cap on over my head? And I will show you my hair. You think I'm hiding it or something like that? You don't know where you'd be without Jesus. Oh, you're sorry. Well, you don't have to be sorry. I just don't know what a hair reveal would be for me. Oh, that's good. We have a glorious audience today. We have a glorious audience today. Where's my gong? It's over there. It's right over there. It's sitting by my little Jesus and a little block that said Dad, a daughter's first love. So it's right over there. That'll come with me. So will my little block. So will my A Day Without Coffee is like, just kidding, I have no idea. My little Jesus. Kind of excited about my day. Again, I woke up a little afraid. Sometime during the night. And I'm not sure why. Nighttime, we wake with fear. Tammy thinks the gong needs to make the appearance again. Well, it's just right over there. Uh-oh. Cody said, before I leave, I should go to the Harry Houdini Museum. Well, Cody, you didn't start with you should. What does a live stream do? You're asking, will it help gain more subscribers? I don't know what that means. Is it prayer fire behind me? I don't know that it's prayer fire. It is a fireplace on my TV. I don't need to say that I've gone to the Harry Houdini Museum. I don't even have a huge desire to do it. If I had a huge desire, I probably would have. Oh. Jim Rat, are you still there? I went to the gym yesterday and did a workout and didn't feel very good. And I hit the heavy bag again. And I did it the night before. And I felt much less filled with energy, which makes me think that I was still tired from doing 2 90-second rounds of the heavy bag and then going at it again the next morning. And about 50 seconds into the first round yesterday, I was looking at the clock going, I wonder if I'm done yet. And the last few punches at the heavy bag were just kind of sloppy flails. So I didn't do a second round. How did the gloves go? And again, they weren't actually gloves. They were wrist wraps primarily. They provide a little support. I think they probably strengthen your wrist, limit your wrist motion probably by like 40%, maybe more. I think they do something, which is good. I think, and again, on ChatGPT, I think the best thing to do is tape up your wrist really solid to limit motion this way. Because if you punched a bag hard and your wrist twisted like that, you could do some damage. But they helped. They helped, and they felt good. Plus, it makes me feel really cool wrapping up my wrists before I go work out. Have I ever done any sparring? No, I haven't. I think it would be amazingly exhausting. I'm not even close. Again, I can't, if I was doing sparring and worried about getting hit, even throwing the punch and even dancing on your toes or moving your feet a little bit is exhausting. You never hit the heavy bag. Yeah, Gym Rat, if you have one in your gym, I'm telling you, for a guy that likes mixing it up, I think it's probably pretty darn good for in a lot of different ways. I think it reduces stress, anxiety. It's got to be. I think it's supposed to work your core. I don't even know how, but maybe every time you throw a punch, you're tightening up your core and you don't even know it. Yeah, but it's a great workout. It feels really good. Plus, it's just different. Putting the plates on the bench press every day or every other day got a little dull. So it's fun mixing it up. You love martial arts, especially weapons arts. All right. Yeah. Well, try it if you'd like. It's really tiring, though. And I don't even think you need to throw that hard of punches, even though I try to because I want to be cool. Somebody says it helps with aggression hitting the bag. Yeah, it crushes your aggression. At the end, you're just hoping, the bag hits back and knocks you out so you don't have to do it anymore. You've watched for a while. Do I cook at home or eat out? Could I make a Cooking with Ken special? Well, I don't eat out really at all. I went for Italian beef and sausage sandwich the other day and spent like $17. I think it's just too expensive to eat out. So I cook at home, but cooking for me is very, very basic. Ground beef, frozen pizzas, fruit, veggies. I get lots of bags of frozen broccoli and I'll microwave that up and throw in some ground beef and call that a meal. What is the gold box in the chat? Oh, that's a pinned comment I have. Yeah, pinned comment I have. One person is rough to cook. I'm not totally sure how important food is to me. Really, how much I care. Like a frozen pizza kind of excites me. Saul, thank you for hopping on. Let's have some smoke. Took his daughter to Taco Bell. $15 for nothing. Taco Bell's gotten much more expensive. I miss their $2 meal. Read your comment, please. I just did, Sam Francis. Oh, I had another thought. Did we talk enough about coaching? So I think, okay, I kid you not. I have somebody almost reaching out to me on a daily basis, asking for mentor, coaching, need to talk, have a question. Hey, I'm inspired. I wish I could do that. Hey, I'm going through something similar. Your videos really help me. I think I could probably systemize it. What I'm saying, whoever said you can help people by listening to them, what I think I could do is probably help a lot of people if I got a system figured out. Maybe some 5-minute introductory phone call. quick evaluation, a homework assignment given, another, I'd probably do a check-in text message the next day. You know, maybe on the 5th day, another 5-minute phone call, see how they're feeling. But when I have somebody reach out that wants to tell me a long story, that's not going to do anything except bring me down and won't really help them. What I'm saying, if you want to hire a coach, you've got to put in some work as well. And they got to do something too. There are no me. I think people watch me and see me get my ass kicked and still smile and still get up and still keep going and want to just kind of get some of that spilled on them, some of that go get 'em spirit or whatever. But it's not just go get 'em spirit. You got to want to do it. And you got to go to church, go to the gym, make a commitment to yourself to get healthier and better in your mind and in your body, to improve a little bit every day, to listen to positive affirmations, to pray. You don't even have to make a commitment to praying. I maybe take that back. I might make you commit to praying. You don't even have to believe, is what I'd say. But you do need to think these words. Thank you, God, for the cup of coffee. 10 times a day. That would be one of my little homework assignments. So if I ever create a business, that would be one of them. Thank God for 10 things during the day. Say it out loud. And then get back to me tomorrow and tell me how it felt. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't want to help people. I just don't want to hear everybody's story when I get thousands of people watching my videos and have people call me and tell me their long story about how they broke up with their girlfriend and she's a bitch. You know, I get it. Yeah, or your husband cheated on you. I get it. And you're sad and you miss him. I know. You know, the details are just details. You know? Maybe, I guess this might be one of my things. Hey, I don't want to hear the details. That's just going to bum me out. Write it all down. That might be one thing on the first day. Write down the most hateful, mean words, the feelings you have, and really go like this with the pen on the paper. Do it. It's like a literary version of punching a heavy bag. Feels good to laugh. I'm going to get a little more coffee. Oh. George V to those people that you think is reasonable. I don't know what that means. But honestly, I think almost to really help somebody, I would need to charge them money. Because otherwise they're just going to go, life sucks. Here's why my life sucks, Ken. And not do anything about it. And we've said this before, that's part of the reason people need to hire coaches, because it gets them going, because they paid for it. So it gets them going to the gym and working out. Because the coach is going to be there and they're already locked in to pay for it. Otherwise they'd blow it off. Oh. Feeling good. We have a glorious audience today. A truly glorious audience. We got 57 people watching. We got 31 thumbs up. If anybody's new here, please hop on and double tap the screen. And I think it'll give me more thumbs up. And when YouTube sees that, they will push this live video to a larger audience. And I'll pick up more subscribers and my show will grow and I'll be able to help more people. Good morning, Brian. How are you today? I just poured myself a delicious hot cup of Sumatra. Work was tiring yesterday, but it felt good. Because these couple days, to me, are almost like bonus days. I think I've mentally released I put these work in a box and said, okay, well, this is just to get me through next week and to send me off in a new direction. Instead of, it's a lifetime commitment to be doing this night after night after night. Tammy Riley, thank you so much for hopping on today. Hope you have a wonderful night's sleep and maybe see you tomorrow. Good morning, WMCC. How are you today? How are you today? Good morning, Sarah Tyler. I'd show you the snow, but there's not a heck of a lot of snow out there. Hey, we got a glorious, my audience just got a little more glorious. We're up to 59 people watching and 36 thumbs up. Double tap the screen, please. Thank you, Jim Rat. I'm feeling well today, WMCC. For some reason, I'm getting a better signal today than I did yesterday. Yesterday, I had a lot of interruptions on my signal. I'm not totally sure what was happening. I think there might have been a problem with YouTube. And for some reason, it's been really clear today, which feels nice. That's just distracting. We don't need distractions. How's my day going so far? Well, I woke up about an hour and a half ago. I FaceTimed my little ones. I made my bed. I put away the my dishes that were in the dishwasher and my dirty dishes in the sink. I poured some coffee and I've talked to a glorious audience today. I said I have a Kia Soul. I don't think I said I have a Kia Soul today, but I certainly do have a Kia Soul. Does it burn oil? I have no issues with my Kia Soul burning oil. Maybe I don't check, but it's new. And I've changed the oil a couple, 3 times, and it seems to be running just fine. I don't worry about it a heck of a lot. Seems to be running great. It's actually a nice car. I mean, nice. Nice isn't the word for a Kia Soul. High functioning, great gas mileage, plenty of space. Those are good words for it. Oh, that's so good. I'm looking sharp. Well, thank you. They are very nice. Nice to me, I mean, I guess nice is, what's your definition of nice? Oh, this is a good segue into my next thing. Nice to me seems luxury or soft leather or warm seats or, you know, getting a shoulder rub by the chair as you're sitting in it. But I just look at it as high functioning as heck. And I'm really pleased with it. You drove a Corolla. Okay, that's going to bring me in. Blankets. Okay, well, blankets are nice. Warm, cuddly blanket is nice. I was driving home from work last night, and granted, I was waiting tables, so it wasn't glorious what I was doing for work, but the pay was pretty good. And I saw a big sign for some, I think it might have been a local Toyota dealer. And it made me think about car sales again. And for me, first of all, I think I'd be bored to death selling Toyotas. I personally have never owned a Toyota. Something about the Toyota brand I don't like particularly. Nothing I know is reliable as heck. I know this and I know that. But if I was going to go Japanese, I could see maybe getting a Honda. But I wouldn't be super duper excited about a Honda either, to be honest with you. Maybe it's my feeling about Japanese cars. Maybe I don't have warm fuzzies about Japanese. I'm going to get to car sales in a moment. But now, since somebody brought up their Toyota Corolla, it made me think about that. You're in the used car industry. Angela said, Toyota sell themselves. Selling them would be so easy. I'm betting, Angela, I appreciate you saying that, the Toyota salesmen don't make or sell more units than any other type of car dealer. Is my hunch. You love your 2026 Toyota Corolla. Well, it's like 2026 is a month old. I hope you love it. You've only had it like a week. Have I done car sales before? Sure, player, you asked that, but you were just spewing hatred towards me. Why should I answer your question? You were spewing hatred at me. So I'm going to ignore your question. Something like 80% of all Toyotas sold in the last 25 years are still on the road. You guys sound like car salesmen. Now you're spewing hatred at me. You're spewing more hatred. See, you just went from asking the normal question just to a whole paragraph of hatred. It seems so weird. Pickup trucks sell more than cars. But again, I don't think anyone that sells pickup trucks. What I'm saying is it almost feels car sales are... I'm wondering what you guys think of car sales. What do you guys think of car sales? Because it's always kind of bounced around in my mind. And again, I saw a sign, and I think it might have been a Toyota dealer on the drive home. And it's just the thought crossed my mind, and I've never done it. It almost kind of bounces around in my mind. You just sold your mom's 96 Corolla with 100,000 miles. You got to find one you can trust and stick with them. You mean a car salesperson you can trust? I don't know what that even really means. Cody said you'd try it. Maybe if I tried it at a place I wanted to be, or if I got to a place I wanted to be, a location I wanted to be, I'd try it. But the thought always does cross my mind. No, I get it, Nancy. That's how you feel. But that you trust them in what? That they're going to give you a good deal on the car? You know, what sort of trust issues do you have with the car salesman? Like, is it that you feel you want to get a good deal? How do I feel about the Carvana company? It's like a vending machine for car sales. I don't really know anything about it. I think I've seen like a pyramid with cars in it. Not a pyramid, but a tower of cars. They have your best interest at heart. But okay, but what does that mean specifically, Nancy? And I mean, how often do you really even buy cars? And I often wonder about like people referring people to car salespeople. Because if I sold Toyotas to Nancy, let's say, and she loved it and thought I had her best interest at heart, you know, she'd have to have somebody that's looking to buy a Toyota come across her path. So I don't know how many, you know, I don't know in my life if I've ever sent anybody to a car salesperson. Maybe I look at car sales as more transactional. You know, I like my guy I bought a Kia Soul from, but I forget his name already. Greg bought a 2006 pickup to replace the 2006 where the frame rusted out. You went from 218,000 to 58,000 miles. Well, way to go, Greg. No, and I don't doubt it, Nancy, and I'm not, I'm just, to me, because the 2026 Toyota Corolla I'm looking at on this lot is the same as the 2026 Toyota Corolla I'm looking at from that dealer. So I'm wondering, I mean, I guess it's what you're saying, Nancy. It's their personality. So you like a car salesman based on their personality is maybe what I'm thinking. WMCC says, you don't believe car salesmen have someone's interest at heart. You think they're looking for a commission. That's a little bit my concern, WMCC. That's a little bit my concern that they are looking for a commission. And versus realtor, where maybe you're looking for a commission as well, the commission's already set. And car salesmen, I think, get paid on how much they charge you on a car. And how many extras they sell, like, I don't know, the paint protection package or the extended warranty or something like that. Good morning, Fred Hinkle. How are you today? Fred, we've had a glorious audience and we're having a wonderful, wonderful show today. Well, Angela, but this isn't really a discussion of what car is the best car. I'm glad you love your 2026 Toyota Corolla. You won't drive a car off the lot until you pay for the undercoating. It's interesting that you actually say till you pay for the undercoating. Yeah. You didn't say unless it has undercoating. You actually said you won't drive it off the lot until you pay for something extra. Oh, it's a glorious audience. It is a glorious audience. I might need to get another cup of coffee. Oh. Should we chat for a little longer? You want to chat for a little longer? We could sign off. It's 8:20. I could go to the gym. Oh, you were joking about that. Okay, that makes sense to me. I was going, yeah, you didn't say you wanted the undercoating. You emphasized how you needed to pay for it. Dealers make money on car price, financing, and the trade-in. They will adjust one to make more on the others. Well, they certainly will. So if you think you're getting a good deal, they're probably screwing you on the trade-in. Is that what you're saying? I could go to the gym at 9:20. Well, I certainly could go to the gym at 9:20. If you're on the East Coast, I mean, it is 9:20. I don't even really need to go to the gym at all. Somebody said Baldy, but they didn't spell it the traditional way. They actually spelled it like the grocery store, Aldi, but added a B. And that kind of made me chuckle a little bit. So that, hey, if you're gonna put up an inane comment about my hair, at least make me chuckle about it a little bit. That's only fair. That's part of the transaction. They need to make a certain profit level. Yeah, but Greg, I mean, their needs for I mean, I'll tell you, there's a million hidden costs in car dealers. So they might break out the book and show you what they paid for the car, but I don't really trust them. I guess that's it. I don't really trust them. And I go in, and maybe that's why I don't refer car salesmen. And maybe why I look at it transactionally. And maybe why I've never worked as a car salesperson. Because at the core, I feel they're trying to take as much money out of my pocket and put it in the dealership's pocket. Do you know what I mean, Greg? Because you said they need to make a certain profit level. If it was just that, I could kind of get it. But they're trying to take every penny they can out of my pocket and put it in theirs. You said there are good ones out there. I'm not saying, what I'm saying is, I don't even think it's a bad one that's trying to do that. I think that is their job. I think their job is to dislodge as much money as they possibly can from the buyer and put it in the seller's pocket. I think that's their job. And I think maybe that's the core reason why people, maybe there's a bad whatever image of car sales. Yeah. Do you know what I mean, Greg? They're not trying to make a percent or whatever fair, 5% or whatever's fair for the car dealer. they're trying to get you to pay as much as you can, as much as they can get you to. And I'm not mad at them for it, but I think as a buyer, it's important to go into your car buying process knowing that their job is to dislodge as much as they can. And your job is to get the car as cheap as possible. So I almost think, I think it was Nancy that was saying, Angela Davis said car salesmen have to make a living too. Yes, they do, but they're trying to make as big of a living as possible. And I'm not begrudging them. I'm just saying you need to be aware of that going in, that they're trying to make as big of a living as possible. And the way they do that is by charging you as much as they possibly can for the purchase of the car. Mel says, and after the salesperson, you got to talk to the finance person who does the hard sell on extended warranty maintenance program. Mel, I can't tell you. I think I got my Kia Soul at a good price, at a very good price. I was surprised they even sold it to me. But that finance guy was almost downright rude. And I'm telling you, if I didn't go in with some sense of suspicion, I would have gotten gouged the crap out of. My payments, he acted like it was automatically just part of the way it works. That you add all these extended warranties and oil changes forever and free car washes forever. And we're only going to add $150 a month to your car payment. But he made it so sound like it was part of the package and like I was saying, had to say no to something. And he was shocked. He didn't like me. And I'm okay that he didn't like me because I realized he was just doing his job, which his job is to gouge the crap out of the people that come into his office. I'm gonna get a little more coffee. I think that's the issue. I think that's my issue. And again, I drove by this sign and I was wondering, what about car sales? I've had that thought. They do try to upsell. Greg, I want to come back to that. I think upsell. How important is repeat customers to a dealer? In my life, I don't think I've ever bought a car at the same dealer twice. And that's just me. You know, maybe some people buy 10 cars from the same dealer, but I've never done it. And when you say they try to upsell to me would be getting leather seats, the fancier stereo. I think they try and chop the crap out of you. They try and get you to buy things and overpay for things. And I don't think that's upselling. And I think because of that, I wouldn't work as a car salesperson. So I think this conversation has been very useful for me. You say you think word of mouth helps when you're looking for a car. When I believe in something, I really sing its praises. And I don't think I've ever told a friend, hey, you got to go to this car salesman that I dealt with. He was wonderful. Because I think in the back of my mind, even the car salesman that I really enjoyed dealing with, I realized they were trying to chop the crap out of me, even the guys I liked. So I think going in, knowing they're gonna chop, you say car salespeople are sleazy. I don't even know that they're sleazy. I think it's just what it is. They are, and I think if you wrap your arms or mind around it and go, they're just trying to take every penny I have. Go, okay, that's the way this game is played. They're trying to get you to buy things that are of no use and overpay for your car and underpay for the trade-in. And anybody, okay, I'll tell you this. Nancy, are you still watching? Are you still watching, Nancy? WMCC said, as a female, they definitely take advantage. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, the finance guy at the Kia dealer made it seem like all these extras were automatically part of the purchase process. Okay, Nancy, what I'm saying is, and I don't want to ruin your day, even your car salesman that you trust, he's probably gouging the crap out of you. And I'm sorry, he might be the sweetest guy, but their job is to gouge the crap out of you. And if you don't know it, you're being taken advantage of. I think if you don't know that the car dealer and the car salesman are trying to take every penny from you, you're having every penny taken from you. And so, Nancy, I bet you like their personality and they seem kind, but their job, I think, is to take every penny they can. That's the business, that's the game they play. Yeah. No, I don't think they're vultures. Well, even a vulture has to eat. I don't think they're vultures. I think you just need to know the game. And I don't think if you know the game, I think if you think you got this warm, fuzzy car sales, he can be your friend, but you can joke. You can like the guys you're playing poker with, but they're trying to lie and steal and tell you they got 4 aces when they're bluffing. They can still be your best friend. Your car salesman can still be your best friend. You just better be aware that that's the name of the game. A close friend used to manage a Toyota dealership. He said they made money on used cars and service. Very little profit in new cars. I think they said 300 to 400 max, but this was a few years ago. Yeah. Wait, what did you specifically? He said money on very little new used cars. I think they make a hell of, oh no, I think that guy, the guy at the Kia dealership was going to make a hell of a lot of money over the 6-year car financing. You know, it would have, my car went from 20 grand to like 29 grand if I would have bought he basically told me the warranty that Kia gives is crap. If you don't get the new awesome warranty that he was offering, you're going to get screwed. And I was going to end up paying like 40% more for the car if I would have done what he said. Mel, you're right about that. You're talking a very specific thing. You got to finance with your own bank. I don't know if you have to. Mike says you get screwed buying Korean. I don't think I got screwed at all, Mike. I got a great car at a great price and it gets great gas mileage. When car salesmen used to get commission, they would attack you when they walked on the car lot. I think they still do get commission. They don't get paid a salary, or if they do, it's small. But they still earn money on commission. I interviewed at a car dealer 8-9 months ago. And they were talking about how much their top selling car salesmen make. So they definitely, certainly get commission. Oh, it's good. That's what it counts, enjoying the vehicle after purchasing it. I'm with you on that, Angela. You think the sales process is tiring on purpose. You get to a point where you just think, okay, whatever, I just want to go get out of here. Yeah, I could see that, Chris. 5 minutes after being on a lot, salesmen come out from nowhere at the same time. If I was a salesman, I'd be lurking around on the lot. I'd be looking at the cars. I would hate the thought. Now, I mean, I like the smell of dealers, but I'd also be drinking coffee, circling the service section, just to talk to anybody that's there. So I don't know if we have a net response. You had a good friend that sold cars, and you would, when you buy a car, you would compete him with another business, and he would cut down his profit rate to nothing for me. Okay, Vermont, but you'd still have to shop your good friend. You know, he didn't just drop the price that he was going to let you buy the car. You had to shop it. You bought a used Subaru in December. Nice people, but they got me with administrative fees, and noticed a few days later. Yeah, Mike, I'm not saying they're not nice people. Again, it's just like playing poker. If you don't know who the biggest fool at the poker table is, it's you. I'm not saying they're horrible human beings. I'm saying it's what the game is. It's what they do. Car dealer at Ford told me they don't work on just commission anymore. Well, they probably are given a slight draw. I promise you, they still work on commission. It might not be just commission. They might be given $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month as a draw versus commission or something like that, but they definitely make commission. Car salesmen and mechanics, you don't trust either. I don't know why mechanics would necessarily. I would hope you can find a mechanic because a mechanic can charge a lot of money. You know, they charge like $80 an hour, $100 an hour to do work on something. So I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right, but I don't necessarily instinctively put mechanics in the same category as car salesmen. Hey, Mike. Mike, you're the one that told me about buy me a coffee. Wasn't that you? Didn't you reach out and tell me to get on Buy Me a Coffee once? I think it was you that introduced me, and you were very generous. You got on my newly created Buy Me a Coffee page. And do you see the link at the bottom? It says support coffee with Ken, and then it's got my Buy Me a Coffee link. What's funny about that is I had a couple people hop on. It was you and another dude, and I tried to take a withdrawal out of it. It was interesting. I eventually got the money, but they said, "Why are people paying you specifically on this page?" As if I was like hustling. I'm going, well, I don't know. The guy told me to set up a page. I thought that's what this was for. He told me to do it. He threw in $50. I thought it was cool. I would like to collect. Do I need to tell you why he's paying me? I don't really know why he paid me. He wanted to. I don't know if they're trying to protect against like money laundering or I don't know, maybe drug payments or something like that. No, it's okay. It's okay. I just thought it was fun. They said like, well, why specifically are these people paying you? And show us how you present the link on your page. So I took a screenshot of my YouTube and said, well, I don't know. The guy asked me to set up one of these pages because I think it was because he wanted to avoid YouTube keeping a huge chunk of it. Is it for tax purposes, Connie? Connie, how do you know everything about everything? How do you always know everything, Connie McCabe? You know so much of everything. You even know about Ivesdale and Bement. You know about inflatable couches, tiny houses, religion, taxes. I think Connie McCabe must be an AI bot because Connie knows everything about everything. What else did you know about drone flying, real estate photography? You're the smartest human being I've ever met, and I haven't even met you. Beastie Boys wrote a song about her. We have a glorious audience. We have a glorious audience. She probably researches and is educated on many things. But, I know a lot of people that are educated on many things. Connie knows everything about everything. It's really amazing. Again, even knows somebody that knows my dad. When some mechanics inspect a car, they try to find extra things to repair. The joke is they even try to get you to replace the blinker fluid. That's funny. Dare we say she's scholarly? But it's beyond scholarly. It's way beyond scholarly. You have a cast on your right wrist. I forget what happened to you, Mike. And you're a truck driver, I believe. You are a truck driver. Can you not drive, I imagine, with a cast? I imagine whoever I don't know, overlooks, had wrist fuse, 25-year-old injury. Ow, that sounds yuck. I assume you can't drive with a cast on your right hand? home until mid-April. What are you going to do in the next, how are you going to pass your time? You can't even really work out if you got a broke or a bum wrist, I imagine. Maybe read. Are you looking forward to having a couple months off? You own the post office in Decatur, Illinois. I mean, I believe you. I think. You said something yesterday. I go, well, what the hell do you know, Connie? Minnesota helps with medical paid leave, helps with the bills. Yeah, but I'm not even thinking about the money necessarily. I'm just thinking how you're going to pass your time. You mentioned 3 supporters on the Coffee with Ken page. I tell you, you do anything, it takes you a long time. People always say I should do a podcast. So I started doing it on Spotify and was posting these videos on Spotify for like 6 months. And I think I only had like 29 people following me on Spotify. And I was getting maybe like 5 to 10 views a day or something like that. But I was spending maybe half an hour a day putting my videos over there. Walk on treadmill at Planet Fitness. Well, good for you. You know, it'd be a bummer because without your wrist, I mean, at my restaurant, somebody walked in and had surgery or had a cast on her right arm and maybe got in a car wreck or something last night. And I go, I hope you're left-handed. And she wasn't. That would be very debilitating. Rebecca and WMCC, do you want me to answer your question? You guys you're both, I hate that you're distracted. I hate that you're distracted. But I'll answer your question if you want. Lift weights, more muscle mass means higher metabolism. Well, it's probably hard to lift weights with messed up wrist. Well, you must have been distracted a little bit. It's not the same person. It's not the same person, would be to answer your question. I prefer to ignore certain people, but it's just not the same person, so don't worry about them. Yeah, you can't lift anything for now, which is a bummer, but it's good you can get on the treadmill. Yeah. We have a glorious audience. I don't have to work for 8 hours. I could just sit here and do Coffee with Ken all day. I'd probably get really hungry, but again, when you're hungry, you're losing weight. When you're hungry, you are losing weight. Have I ever had long hair? Did I ever have long hair? Not really. I mean, my grandpa was an old school farmer. He never liked the way our hair looked. He never liked the way our hair looked. Have I tried a biscotti yet? No, I haven't even been tempted to try a biscotti. Still sounds dry. As a matter of fact, it also sounds like calories and money I don't need to consume or spend. You're carnivore, you're never hungry and lost lots of weight. Yeah, no, Mike, I think that's probably a great diet. And I bet you it makes you, I bet it's healthy. You don't eat vegetables, Mike, is that right? I'm gonna get a little more coffee. You do drink coffee, don't you? I need to try a Tim Tam Slam. I don't know what a Tim Tam Slam is. Oh, who doesn't drink coffee? Well, I'm hoping if you're on the carnivore diet, you still can drink coffee. You eat nothing that doesn't come from an animal. So you don't eat vegetables. It's amazing, but I do think that would be healthy. You said you get to drink or have drink. You put butter in your coffee, I think you said. It's hard to imagine that would be healthy, but I know when I fast, I feel healthy. And I know it's not fasting, but I know when I fast, I tend to gorge on like protein and meat. We got a glorious audience. 58 people watching, 51 thumbs up. We've talked for just under 2 hours. Humans are metabolically carnivore. WMC never heard about butter in coffee. We can survive on vegetables. Getting a little confused by the comments. Probably not the first time I've been confused by some comments before. And as I talked about yesterday, this has been a glorious audience. This has been a glorious audience. Some days are not as glorious as others, but this has truly been glorious. And if we lower our expectations, we're always feeling good. Somebody asked, where is the fiber? Mike, could you ask that? Do you need fiber in a diet? If you are you are on a carnivore diet, do you need fiber? You can survive for a decent time on vegetables, but you'll thrive on meat. Thrive on just meat? Do we really not need vegetables in our diet? And Mike, I'd be curious, humans' digestive system is designed to break down proteins and fats. We thrive on them. Fiber isn't necessary and doesn't give any nutrients. All right. Nancy, you know Connie McCabe knows. You know Connie McCabe knows. Apparently Mike's saying fiber isn't necessary for anything. Nancy said fiber is 100% necessary. We have people saying you don't need fiber at all. And then you have people saying it's totally necessary. I tend to believe Mike on this. My first wife is a dietitian, and her biggest thing is she had a core belief, it was in the value of fiber. But she also thought everything in moderation, and if you're doing everything in moderation, maybe you need fiber. Mike's saying, if you go all carnivore, you don't need fiber. And that's interesting. You can eat rabbit meat, but you will starve to death from being no fat in it. Huh. We have carnivores have, we need both, but carnivores for a time is fine. Okay, carnivores describing our intestines, or Connie is describing our intestines. So I've got Connie, who I think has a strange knowledge of a variety of things, going against Mike, who's living the diet. You have a high cholesterol, and a whole food diet reduced your bad cholesterol in a short time. I'm not totally sure what that means. I'm not totally sure what that means. Oh. So many myths passing here in chat. We don't have the proper, wow, you guys are talking above me. Mike's using the word cecum. I'm not sure what a cecum is. WMCC's going with Connie, but I'm telling you, I'm betting Mike's put in a little research because he's citing the cecum that we have. And since I don't even know what that is, he must have done a little research. Organ in the digestive system. That's weird, but I've never even heard of it. Could it be possible that we have organs that I've never, no, I'm not going with Mike because he gave me $50. I promise you that has absolutely nothing to do with it. I'm going with Mike's actually living it. So Mike living it has probably put in more effort learning about it than Connie, who's not living it. Yeah, that's how I did my analysis. The cecum is the pouch-like beginning of the large intestine that connects the small intestine to the colon and absorbs fiber, fluids, and salts. How would I not know about it? How would I not know about it? Carnivore healed his brain after quitting alcohol. Way to go. Why is Obek? I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, you're using two words that I have no idea what they are. You looked it up. All right, well, that makes me feel a hell of a lot better. I thought you happened to know what the Sikkim was. I'm going, what the hell? Where have I been? I'm 57. I've taken gone to school for many years. I was married to a dietitian. Nobody had ever said the word Sikkim to me before. The bigger issue than carnivore or vegan, or both, is processed foods. Okay, I'm refereeing this, and no, I'm not. I'm judging this. It almost feels like Connie McCabe took a step back. Spreading the gospel, day 2. I don't know what that means. Spreading the gospel. I mean, I think I know what spreading the gospel means, but I'm not sure why today would be day 2 of it. And I'm not totally sure. We haven't even brought up the Bible. Don't get me started. Do not get me started on the Bible. Do not get me started on the Bible. I tell you, I felt more at peace since I stopped reading it. I'm editing videos from about a month ago when I was breaking down and I'm going, oh my God, I can't spend another 15 minutes reading 2 chapters from Joshua. Don't make me do it. I remember I stopped like halfway through one chapter and goes, do you guys want me to keep reading this? And most of you did, but I was going, this is painful. Anyway, we have had a glorious audience today. I've really enjoyed this. BRB, ha 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 ha. BRB, what does that mean? What does that mean? Hi, how am I doing? I'm doing well. Has it been enjoyable, WMCC? Has this been an enjoyable show? I think it's been pretty enjoyable. I'll be right back. All right. Be right back. Be right back. All right. I don't even know who was telling me that they'll be right back. And again, we don't take attendance. It's always enjoyable and glorious. Well, Connie said BRB, huh? You know, I'd probably get another cup of coffee for any reason the audience spiked up. But we've had a fairly stable audience today. And I'm not saying stability doesn't provide glory, because we've found glory. The coffee was good, the audience was glorious, and the show was enjoyable. Well, I appreciate that. Uh-oh. My phone just said we're down to 20% charge. Maybe that's God telling me to turn off the show and plug it in my phone, take care of a few things, and get ready for the rest of my day. I think it might be healthy for me to take off the gym today. I was pretty drained yesterday working out, and I was pretty drained at work, and I was pretty drained when I got home. So maybe taking off today might feel good and give me an opportunity to tie up some loose ends on my own or tie up some loose ends. And let me tell you what, if the plans continue to proceed like they seem to be proceeding, I got lots of things to tie up. And I'm a little scared of it, but I'm also looking forward to it as well. So I want to thank you so much for joining on this Thursday morning. You've been a great, great audience. I appreciate you for being here. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. I hope you are feeling real good. You are loving yourself. You are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.